is famous for telling its audience just about everything. The franchise explains nearly every character, location, prop, or anything that pops up on screen throughout one of its films, TV shows, or video games, or on the pages of one of its novels or comic books. Hardcore Star Wars fans can tell you the names of even the most minor of fighter pilots from the original trilogy, as well as their lengthy backstories. Droopy McCool, he's got a backstory. TK421, he also has a backstory. Literally every single character in this franchise has some kind of backstory, and you know what? I love it. However, not everything in the Star Wars universe gets spelled out like this. Some major questions, intentionally or otherwise, never get answered anywhere throughout the sprawling media franchise. Even the most hardcore Star Wars fans don't know the answers to these questions, since, for better or for worse, they're nowhere to be found. As Jocasta Nu would say, if it does not reside within our records, then it does not exist. But hey, that didn't stop Obi-Wan, and it isn't gonna stop us either. I'm Ewan, welcome to What Culture Star Wars, and here are the 10 biggest unanswered mysteries in a galaxy far, far away. Number 10. What became of Barriss Offee? After betraying the Jedi Order and bombing their temple, killing Jedi and civilians alike, big yikes, Barriss Offee was sent to prison. She was seemingly kicked out of the Jedi Order, stripped of her status as a Padawan, and left to rot for the rest of her days, which is a bit harsh, but, you know, she did kill a lot of people. Well, anyway, we never hear about Barriss's fate after this. Does she remain imprisoned until her death? Or could she have possibly escaped to antagonize the Jedi some other day? Additionally, Barriss was imprisoned before Order 66, during which the clones turned on and wiped out almost all the Jedi. Since Barriss was no longer in the Order at the time, does that mean the clones killed her too? Ahsoka Tano, who was not officially a Jedi during the Mandalorian siege, was still targeted by the clones at the start of Order 66. Does that mean Barriss was on their list too? Or was being an imprisoned former Jedi enough for the clones to leave her out of it? Now, this is where things get a little bit tricky. If Barriss did survive Order 66, could she have become an Inquisitor? Or maybe even a Dark Jedi, like Fallen Order's Taron Malicos? Hopefully, we get those answers soon. Number 9. Where did the Chosen One prophecy come from? In the Star Wars prequel trilogy, the Jedi often refer to the prophecy of the Chosen One, a Jedi who would one day bring balance to the Force. For those curious, here is the full prophecy itself, taken from Claudia Gray's masterful Master and Apprentice, which you should all go read if you love Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. And come on, who doesn't love Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan? They're great. A chosen one shall come, born of no father, and through him will ultimate balance in the Force be restored. Qui-Gon Jinn believed this to be Anakin Skywalker, so he insisted that he train the boy. After Qui-Gon's death, Obi-Wan Kenobi took over as Anakin's master, still believing him to be the chosen one, before Anakin turned to the dark side and helped eliminate the Jedi Order altogether. Oops. Despite its importance throughout the first 3 Star Wars films, they never explain where the prophecy comes from. Why is it so important, and how can it be trusted? Well, Claudia Gray's superb Master and Apprentice goes into some detail about where Qui-Gon's fascination with the Jedi prophecies came from, but we still don't know much about the ancient mystic who created it, or how legitimate the prophecy itself truly was. Many fans believe that Anakin was the chosen one, and he did bring balance to the Force, to quote Obi-Wan, from a certain point of view by turning on the Emperor in Episode 6. It's not definitive, but the mystery surrounding the prophecy, and indeed Anakin's creation, is still fascinating to uncover. Number 8. Anakin's Immaculate Conception. Have you ever heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? Prequel haters and prequel lovers alike will constantly quote this one scene and love to think about its implications. In the so-called tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise, Palpatine tells Anakin of a Sith Lord who could use the Force to create life. It's strongly implied that this Darth Plagueis was Palpatine's master, who trained him in the dark side, and who Palpatine eventually murdered, because look at him, that sly little face. Ooh, Ian McDiarmid, you are so good in this role. In The Phantom Menace, we learn that Anakin has no father. His mother Shmi tells Qui-Gon that she carried him, gave birth to him, and raised him without the slightest idea of where the hell he came from. Now, many fans have theorized that Palpatine was involved in Anakin's conception. We even got a Force vision in a Darth Vader comic alluding to just that the other year, but it's by no means meant to be taken literally, and the mystery surrounding Anakin's birth continues. Number 7. How did Boba Fett get a Mandalorian signet? Spoilers for the first episode of The Mandalorian's second season here, so if you haven't watched it and don't wish to be spoiled, you might want to skip ahead onto the next entry. The Mandalorian Season 2 delivered on a major expanded universe tease in its first episode the other week, revealing that Boba Fett had escaped the Sarlacc pit in Return of the Jedi and was hiding out on Tatooine. Din Djarin is now also in possession of Fett's armor, which he procured from Cobb Vanth, believing it to be the property of a true Mandalorian. But here's the thing, Boba isn't a true Mandalorian. He has no clan, and his father Jango was even disavowed by the Mandalorian government back during the prequels, which is interesting because despite not belonging to any clan as far as we know, Boba still has a Mandalorian signet, given to those who actually have a clan and were modelled on a particular feat or kill a Mandalorian had accomplished. Din Djarin's is a Mudhorn, which he receives as he was a foundling of Death Watch and wasn't born to any of the Mandalorian clans already active. Now, this is where things get more interesting. We don't know much of what Boba got up to during the gap in between episodes 3 and 4, apart from accruing a reputation as one of the galaxy's most fearsome bounty hunters. But he does rebuild his father's armor, and by the time of the original trilogy, he bought 2 insignias, one of the legendary Mythosaur, a general symbol for all Mandalorians, and another which may be a more unique signet given to Fett. The new canon is yet to weigh definitively on whether Fett became a true Mandalorian, but it'll only be a matter of time until we get our answer. Number 6. Why did lightsaber crystals get less varied? Another mystery we'll no doubt get answers to shortly, but an interesting one all the same. As some viewers may know, Star Wars' next big thing is the High Republic, a series of novels and comics set to delve into the period just a few hundred years before The Phantom Menace, back when the Jedi were at their peak. Art for the series has so far shown the Jedi donning illustrious robes and lightsabers, with more than just the usual green and blue spotlighted. There are also crossguard sabers, Jedi-wielding double-bladed lightsabers, and even a lightsaber that looks like a lethal set of barbecue tongs. It's really cool. So the question here is, if the Jedi a few hundred years ago were wielding these extravagant weapons, what happened for them to, stop doing that? Remember, the order of the prequels was quite humble and traditional, so something clearly happened to them for them to change their approach. We also know that lightsaber crystals only take on a given color when they connect with their chosen Jedi. So, did none of the Jedi of the prequels particularly like the idea of an orange, cyan, or even white or black blade? Or did the Jedi of yore modify their sabers to augment their kyber? Only time will tell. Number 5. Why were the Sith gone for so long? By the time of the Phantom Menace, the Sith had been gone for over a millennia. The Jedi and Sith went to war during the Old Republic, and after the Sith's defeat, where all but one master survived, that being Darth Bane, they established the Rule of Two, stating that only a Sith master and apprentice may coexist. After this, the Sith don't really do all that much. For the next 1,000 years, they seemingly stay in hiding, with no notable Sith appearing until Palpatine and Maul's plan comes to fruition in the Phantom Menace. What were they up to for all that time? The Sith must have been planning something. Why was Palpatine the first major Sith Lord to try and take revenge in all that time? The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities, and apparently procrastination is one of them. Number 4. What lies in the unknown regions? Given their name, it's no surprise that the unknown regions are one of the greatest mysteries in Star Wars. This mostly unexplored region of the galaxy contains threats that even the Jedi don't know about. Though Star Wars has taken us to a few planets in the unknown regions, like Ilum and Starkiller Base for instance, most of the unknown regions remain, unknown. Recently, the Thrawn novels introduced the Grisk, a species from the unknown regions known to enslave other beings by corrupting their desires, fears, memories, and hopes. They use their victims, known as client species, to cater to their every need, often fighting and dying for their Grisk masters. These creatures seem straight out of a horror movie with how terrifying they are, and bear one or two of the echoes that made the Yuuzhan Vong such a terrifying prospect back in Legends. As scary as the Grysk are, they might not even be the worst of what the unknown regions has to offer. What else could possibly lie deep within the unknown? Number 3. What can Force Ghosts do? You can't win, Darth. Strike me down and I shall become more powerful than you could possibly imagine. Obi-Wan Kenobi, in my terrible Obi-Wan voice, said these words to Darth Vader just before his former apprentice killed him. However, this was not the end of Obi-Wan's story, as he, along with a few other Jedi, appear again throughout the saga as Force Ghosts or Force Spirits. They use a technique that Qui-Gon Jinn discovered to reappear in the material world from time to time, offering heroes such as Luke and Rey some really important advice. However, in The Last Jedi, we finally get a taste of some of that Force Ghost power Obi-Wan was talking about. Yoda, as a Force Ghost, appears to Luke one last time, where the old friends have a brief conversation before Yoda summons a lightning bolt from the sky to destroy the Jedi Library. Luke, a powerful master himself, is taken aback by the raw strength exhibited by his old teacher. But that raises a question, and maybe even a plot hole or two. If Force Ghosts can summon down lightning like a Norse god, what exactly is it they can't do? Is there a reason they never intervened that way before? Somehow, I don't think this is something that will be explained anytime soon. Number 2. Where is Ezra Bridger? More spoilers, this time it's for Rebels, which if you haven't watched and you're thinking about doing so, you really should do that and also skip ahead to the next entry. Anyway, now that we Rebels fans can all sob together in peace, Star Wars Rebels ends with a major cliffhanger. As Ezra liberates Lothal from the Empire, he uses his connection with the Purgils to send Grand Admiral Thrawn, along with himself, into hyperspace. This is the last time anyone has ever seen or heard from Ezra Bridger. His friends have no idea where he and Thrawn ended up. The final shot of the series sees Sabine Wren teaming up with Ahsoka, presumably to go and find Ezra, but we don't know if their search was successful. There have been rumours of a potential sequel series to Star Wars Rebels on Disney+, which would explore the search for Ezra, but until then, his whereabouts remain a mystery. And number 1, what is Yoda's species? Throughout its 43 years, Star Wars has never once revealed the name of Yoda's species. Yoda is such an iconic part of the Star Wars universe, which makes this omission all the stranger. Star Wars provides a species name for Yak Face, who appears for about 2 seconds in Episode 6, but it doesn't do the same for one of its most famous characters. Questions about Yoda's biology have arisen again after The Mandalorian introduced fans to another member of the frog-like species. Baby Yoda, or the Child, has become one of the most popular Star Wars characters since the original Yoda, and even though he is a baby, he's actually 50 years old. Like, good grief, that's a long time to be a baby. So far, we have met 3 characters of this species: Yoda, the Child, and Grease Dritus's favourite, Yaddle. All 3 are powerful Force wielders. Is this a coincidence, or does this species somehow strongly connect to the Force? Expect Season 2 of The Mandalorian to answer more questions about this mysterious species, but for now, it remains Star Wars' greatest mystery. And that was our list on just 10 of the biggest unanswered mysteries in Star Wars history. Know of any other Star Wars questions that keep you up at night? Let us know in the comments below, and of course, do not forget to subscribe to What Culture Star Wars. We are all very excited about this channel, and we have a bunch planned, including coverage of The Mandalorian Season 2, lists, news, and podcasts on all things Star Warsy. I hope you'll join us on this adventure, but for now, I've been Ewan, thank you for watching, and I will hopefully see you soon. Bye!